Blood enters the heart through the vena cava and the pulmonary vein. From here it goes into the left and right atrium. The pressure rises until the atrial pressure is higher than the ventricular. This causes a contraction of the atrioventricular valve, releasing the blood into the ventricles. The valve then closes. The pressure in the ventricles rises and eventually becomes higher than the pressure in the pulmonary artery and aorta. The semilunar valve opens and blood is pumped through. It then closes to prevent backward flow of blood. The aorta carries blood to the body and the pulmonary artery carries blood to the lungs. This process happens every time your heart beats. The muscle of the atrial walls contracts, forcing the remaining blood that they contain, around 20% of the total blood in the heart, into the ventricles. After a short delay to allow the ventricles to fill with blood, their walls contract simultaneously. This increases the blood pressure within them, forcing shut the atrioventricular valves and preventing backflow of blood into the atria. The pressure rises further, forcing open the semilunar valves and pushing blood into the pulmonary artery and aorta. A wave of electrical activity spreads out from the SAN across both atria, causing them to contract. The atrioventricular septum prevents the wave crossing into the ventricles. The wave of electricity is allowed to pass through a second group of cells called the atrioventricular node, which lies between the atria. The AVN, after a short delay, conveys a wave of electrical activity between the ventricles along a series of specialised muscle fibres called the bundle of His. The bundle of His conducts the wave through the atrioventricular septum to the base of the ventricles, where the bundle branches into smaller fibres. The wave of electrical activity is released from these fibres, causing the ventricles to contract quickly at the same time from the apex of the heart upwards. An atheroma is a fatty deposit that forms over time within the wall of an artery due to white blood cells accumulating low-density lipoproteins. The fatty deposit bulges and forms an atheromatous plaque. This bulge causes the artery to narrow and the blood flow is reduced. This can lead to thrombosis. If the atheroma breaks the endothelium, it forms a rough surface preventing smooth blood flow. This can cause a blood clot, also known as thrombosis. It can block the vessel completely, reducing or preventing the supply of blood to the tissues beyond it. These tissues often die due to the lack of oxygen. Aneurysms are caused by the weakening points of the artery walls swelling to form a balloon-like blood-filled structure. These frequently burst and can cause hemorrhaging. Myocardial infarction, or heart attack, refers to a reduced supply of oxygen to the muscle of the heart. It results from a blockage in the coronary arteries. If this occurs, the heart will stop beating because its blood supply will be completely cut off. In Britain, about 500,000 people a year have a heart attack.